Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. عرفت في الدرس السابق أن جواب الشرط يقترن بالفاء في مواضع منها. So now we can see over here عرفت, you knew, في الدرس السابق, in the previous lesson, أن, that, جواب الشرط, that the answer to the condition, يقترن بالفاء, is connected with fa, or fa is connected to جواب الشرط, في مواضع منها, so in the places that are. So now we know that مواضع is basically ممنوع من الصرف, so that's why after fi it has fatha. It will not accept kasra because this is ممنوع من الصرف. And minha, when we say minha, we know that ha refers to the places, mawadi', because it's the plural of mawdi'. Mawdi' is the place where we keep something, and the plural is mawadi'. And the places where we add fa to jawab al-shart. What are those? أن يكون جملة اسمية, that it is a nominal sentence, number one. Number two, أن يكون فعلا طلبيا, or it is a commanding sentence, which means ومن أنواع الطلب, and then the types of طلب are الأمر, which is command, والنهي, which is prohibition, والاستفهام, and a question. نذكر الآن بقية المواضع. So now we will mention the rest of the places. So جملة اسمية and جملة طلبية, we learned about it in lesson number 14. And now the rest of the places where fa is connected to جواب الشرط, those places are, number one, أن يكون فعلا جامدا, that the verb is جامد. نحو من غشنا فليس منا, whoever cheats us is not from us. Okay, so do you remember what is فعل جامد? فعلا جامدا? A verb that does not have present and does not have فعل الأمر. It only has past tense, like laysa, asa, and there are some other sa'a. So they don't have the present tense or فعل الأمر, they only have past tense. So laysa, as we can see here, is فعل جامد. That's why fa will be added to that. So this is addition to جملة اسمية and addition to جملة طلبية. And now we have one more thing where we have فعل جامد, then we have to add fa to that when it is جواب الشرط. So غشة is شرط and ليس is جواب الشرط. And man is أداة الشرط. أن يقترن بقد, or it is connected with قد. نحو, for example, ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. So now we can see here that man is again أداة الشرط, and يطع الله, يطيع, it was basically يطيع, أطاع يطيع, and we know that when we make the ending sakin يطيع, then there will be additional ya, which is the part of the root letters. So that ya will be dropped. Why? Because we have iltiqa sakinain. So that's why it becomes ومن يطيع. And when we connect it with the next word, in this case we have ismul jalala, then we will connect it with kasra. وَمَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ. So now we can see here that ismul jalala is mansub because it is in the place of maf'ul bihi. Waw is basically connecting waw. So that's why Rasul is also mansub. Why? Because both of them will have the same i'rab because they are atf wa ma'tuf. They are basically connected with waw, so both of them will have the same ending. وَمَن يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ فَازَ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا. So now we can see here qad is also connected with fa. So this is another point or another place where we have to add fa to jawab al-shart. So yuti' is basically fi'l al-shart, and faqad is basically jawab al-shart. Faza, he succeeded. Fawzan, what about faza fawzan azima? What do you think about the i'rab of fawzan? Does anyone remember? This is maf'ul mutlaq. Maf'ul mutlaq. Basically, it is faza yafuzu fawzan. And here, why do we have maf'ul mutlaq? Because it is used for emphasis. So fawzan is maf'ul mutlaq, and adhiman is basically adjective, which is also used for further emphasis. So we have here, look at the emphasis over here. Number one, there is emphasis because it's a nominal sentence. Nominal sentence is always more emphatic than the verbal sentence. That's number one. Number two, we have qad. We know that qad is used for emphasis. So it means indeed. Then we have one more emphasis, which is fawzan. So it's used as maf'ul mutlaq. And we know that maf'ul mutlaq is also used for emphasis. And to add more value to that, we have an adjective, which is azima. So when will a person get the real success? Whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger has certainly attained a great attainment. So now it's both. We have to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa wasallam both. So if anyone is deficient in any of them, then he is not a true Muslim. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a condition over here that as a Muslim we have to follow both Allah and His Messenger. وَمَنْ يُطِعِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ فَازَ فَوْزًا عَظِيمًا. The next place is أن يقترن بما النافية, that it is connected to ما النافية. نحو, for example, مهما تكن الظروف, whatever the situation or conditions may be, فما أكذب, I will not, or I don't lie. Basically, I don't lie. So this is ma, as we know, ma an-nafiya, which is used for negation. So we add fa to lan, we add fa to qad, and also we add fa to ma an-nafiya. When they come in the place of jawab shart, or when they are jawab shart. So mahma is adatu shart. Takunu has changed into takun, and it has become majzoom because of mahma. This is fi'l shart, and fama is jawab shart. Mahma takuni dhurufu fama akdhibu. An yaqtarina bilan, so that it is connected to lan. Nahwu, for example, man labis al-harira fi dunya falan yalbasahu fil akhirah. So whoever wears silk in the dunya, he will not wear it in the akhirah. So again, man, as we can see, this is adatu shart. Labisa is fi'l shart. It's past tense, so it is mabni, and we will say that this is mahallan majzoom. And then we have falan, so we can see that lan is basically jawab shart, and fa is added to that. Why? Because whenever it happens to be jawab shart, as we can see over here, then fa will be connected to that. An yaqdarina bis-sini, when sin is connected to jawab shart, for example, in tusafir, fasa usafiru. Okay, now we can see over here that here tusafir is majzoom, but here it is not majzoom. Do you remember, or do you know why? It's a very important point. We have discussed it.
Because fa is there, Ustad.
Excellent. Perfect. When fa is added to jawab shart, then the verb will not be majzoom. It will not become sakin. Perfect. If we say in tusafir, sa usafir, then it will be majzoom. But if we add fa to that, then it will not become majzoom. Perfect. And then we have an yaqtarina bi sawfa nahwu, or it is connected with sawfa. For example, wa in khiftum ailatan fa sawfa yughnikum Allah. Wa in, so we can see here that in, it's like, I think, the most common or most commonly used adatu shart. Wa in khiftum, and if you fear what? If you fear ailatan, which is poverty, fasawfa, then of course it's used for the future. So fasawfa yughnikum Allahu, Allah will enrich you. So now again, when we have sawfa, then fa will be added to that. So khiftum is basically fi'l shart, and سوف is جواب الشرط. يغنيكم الله أغنى يغني إغناء. So this is verb form number 4, which means will enrich you, yani will make you rich. And يغني is فعل, and اسم الجلالة is فاعل, and kum is مفعول به. Kum is مفعول به, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make you rich, or will enrich you. How? من فضله إن شاء, with his bounty if he wills. So وإن خفتم عيلة فسوف يغنيكم الله من فضله إن شاء. If we stop here, it will be إن شاء. If you fear property, Allah will enrich you out of his bounty if he wills. So sin wa sawfa, both of them, when they are jawab shart, then fa will be added to them. أن يصدر كأنما, or be كأنما. When كأنما comes, sadara comes first. When كأنما comes as jawab shart, then again صدر يصدر تصديرا. So whenever to come in front, it means to come in front. صدر يصدر تصديرا. So whenever كأنما comes, then fa comes before كأنما. نحو, for example, أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. So now we can see over here كأنما, basically here, whenever we have كأنما, then it will be connected with fa when it happens to be jawab shart. أنه من قتل. Okay, أنه. So who refers to what? Do we have anything before who? No. So why who has been used over here? Does anyone remember? It is used for emphasis. If you remember, I told you this is called ضمير الشأن, and it doesn't necessarily have to have a marji, or it doesn't have to have something before it. It is used a lot in the Quran. I give you the example of إنه كان توابا. So sometimes we have إنه or إنها. So who and ha, they are used sometimes for the purpose of emphasis. If you say إنه طبيب, that means he is a doctor. So but it will be basically indeed he is a doctor. So أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس. So man, as we can see, is أداة الشرط. قتل is فعل الشرط, and فعل plus فاعل. نفسا is مفعول به. بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. Whoever kills a person, why he kills a person? Not in retaliation for a person killed, nor as a punishment for spreading disorder on earth, is as if he has killed the whole of humankind. Yani whoever kills an innocent person without any specific reason, and the reason doesn't mean that everyone has the right to kill anyone. It's the duty of the government when there is some, when they find a person to be criminal, then definitely they will, they have the right to punish him, but it's not for everyone. So if someone kills someone without any reason, or without, if someone is like, if he kills a person and the person is not spreading any disorder in the earth, then that means he has killed the whole humanity, jami'an, the whole of humankind. So jami'an, as we know, that it is used for emphasis as well, litawqid. So now again, alhamdulillah, Islam teaches us that it's a religion of peace, it's a religion of salama, and there is nothing like that which people propagate, that Muslims do this and do that. It's not like that. And if you continue, it says man ahya, continues like that if someone saves one person, it is as if he has saved the whole humanity. Now we have another important point over here. لا يجزم جواب الشرط إذا اقترن بالفاء, as we have discussed in the previous example. If jawab al-shart is connected with fa, or if fa is connected to jawab al-shart, then it will not become majzoom. ويكون الإعراب حينئذ للجملة. In that case, or at that time, we will say that the i'rab is for the whole sentence and it's not for only that specific verb. فَيُقَالُ, so it is said, إِنَّهَا فِي مَحَلِّ جَزْمٍ, that it is in the place of jazm. Yani the whole sentence here, ha refers to the jumla, that the whole sentence is in the place of jazm. So whenever fa is connected to jawab shart, then it will not, the verb will not become majzoom. That's number one. And number two, we will say that the whole sentence is in the place of jazm. It's not only that verb, the whole sentence is majzoom. How it is majzoom? Mahallan majzoom, yani it is majzoom in the place of jazm. Hina is in, at that time. Hina is in at that time. It's used only once in the Quran in Surah Al-Waqiyah. It means at that time. So here it means وَيَكُونُ الْإِعْرَابُ حِينَئِذٍ لِلْجُمْلَةِ, at that time, or in this place, or at that point, and the whole sentence will be in the place of jazm. Now we have learned that what are the places where we use fa, and whenever we add fa to jawab shart, and now we have to do the exercise. أدخل الفاء, أدخل يدخل إدخالا means to enter. أدخل الفاء, enter fa على جواب الشرط, on the answer to the condition. في الجمل الآتية, in the following sentences. إذا كان ذلك واجبا, if that is necessary. So إذا كان ذلك واجبا, what kind of sentence is this? This is a conditional sentence. And we know that إذا is adatu shart, which is غير جازم. And after إذا, whenever we see past tense, and most of the times after that is the past tense, and that means إذا has been used for the condition. إذا كان ذلك, if that is واجبا, wajib, if that is wajib, and if that is necessary. واذكر السبب, sababa, and then you have to also mention the reason. من جد وجد, whoever works hard finds success. Man, adatu shart, jadda is the past tense, jadda yajiddu jaddan, to work hard. Wajada is also past tense, wajada yajidu wujudan, to find. So whoever works hard will find the success. All right, so do we have to add fa to jawab shart? So jadda is fi'l shart and wajada is jawab shart. Do we have to add fa to that?
No, sir.
No, why not?
Because small use, sir.
Yeah, because it's past tense. Perfect. We have learned that when past tense happens to be jawab shart, then fa is not added to that. That's number one. And number two, we need to go and look back, and we have to see that is there any of the points that we have discussed? Does that point come over here? Any of the places that we have discussed about? If one of them is over here, for example, if we have qad or we have laysa, sa wa sawfa, then we will use fa. If we don't find any of them that we have discussed in the previous slide, that means we don't have to add fa to that. Excellent. And both of them are past tense. Okay. ضاع مني 1000 ريال, I lost 1000 reals. فمن يجده ويأتيني به له عشره, whoever finds it, or whoever finds them and brings them to me, I will give him 1/10 of that. Yani he will get 1 real. Yes. Do we have to add fa? Yes, falahu, because here this is jawab shart, and jawab shart is a nominal sentence. Falahu ushruhu, you know that lahu is jar majroor, ushru is basically mubtada, and lahu is khabar. So we know that whenever jumla ismiya happens to be jawab shart, then fa will be added to that. So I lost 1000 reals. Faman yajidhu, so this is the present tense, so definitely it becomes majzoom. Wa ya'tini, and comes to me, this is also majzoom. But both of them are majzoom, but both of them will be considered as one verb. Why? Because they are connected with waw. So if we connect 10 verbs with waw, they will be considered as one. So faman yajidhu wa ya'tini, it was basically ya'tini, ya has been dropped, bihi. So you know that yati bi means to bring. Yati means to come, but when it comes with the preposition of ba, it means to bring. And whoever brings it to me, falahu ushruhu, he will get 1/10 of this. Okay, so this is why it's connected, because jawab shart is jumla ismiya. The second one, I'm sure it's easier. Mahma yakun sababu ghiyabika, whatever may be the reason of your absence. Qad fataka darsun muhimman. Indeed, you have missed a very important lesson. Yes, please, quickly.
We should add fa with qad, Ustad.
Excellent. Whenever we have qad as jawab shart, we have to add fa to that. Perfect. All right. So here, this is jawab shart, and here, جواب الشرط مقترن بقد. Okay. إن تكن مشغولا الآن سآتيك غدا. If you are busy now, I will come to you tomorrow. Yes, quickly please.
Satika, we should add fa because of seen, Ustad.
Excellent. Very good. So we have to add fa to that because it is connected with جواب الشرط مقترن بالسين. All right. انتهى الدرس. فمن أراد أن يخرج ليخرج. Yes. So it basically جواب الشرط, as we can see, is فعل طلبي. يعني here we have أمر over here, so we have to add fa.
فليخرج.
Yeah, فليخرج. فليخرج. Excellent. So we have to add fa before that because it is طلب. It is جملة يعني this is basically أمر. It's طلب, so that's why it will be فليخرج. So the lesson has finished. Whoever wants to leave, let him leave. Okay, excellent. So جواب الشرط فعل طلبي يعني أمر. We know that لام الأمر, this is called لام الأمر. لام الأمر is basically لي, فل, wal, ثم. So this is also called لام الأمر. So basically this is also used for order, but we use it to make a command to the third person and not to the second person. Please remember, whenever you want to make a command to the third person, then we use لام الأمر. إن تأتي الساعة العاشرة تجدني في البيت إن شاء الله. If you come at 10 o'clock, you will find me in my house, inshallah. Yes, in أداة الشرط, تأتي is majzoom because it's a present tense. تجدني is also majzoom because it is جواب الشرط في البيت إن شاء الله. Do we need to add fa to this or not? La? Why? No, it doesn't meet any of the conditions. Did we learn in the previous conditions that we will add fa with the present tense? No, fa will not be added to the present tense. It will not be added to the past tense. It will be added to jumla ismiya. It will be added to jumla talabiya. It will be added to fi'l jamid. It will be added to qad, ma and nafiya. It will be added to lan. It will be added to sin, wa sawfa, and ka'annama. So we don't have any of those conditions. That's why fa will not be added to that. It will remain as it is. All right.
Then Tajidni is past tense, not past tense only.
Yeah,
Amr only.
Wajada yajidu. It's a present tense, yes. Well, it's whether it's a present tense or past tense, it does not meet one of the conditions that we have seen in the previous in the beginning of the lesson. There are around 10 conditions. 10 conditions. It does not meet any of them. Is it fi'l jamid? It's not fi'l jamid. It's a regular verb. Does it have qad? Does it have lan? Does it have sin? Does it have sawfa? Is it amr? Is it istifham? Is it nahi? No, it does not meet any of the conditions. So that means there is no need to add fa to that. مهما تقول لي لن أصدقك. Whatever you tell me, I will not believe you. This one is easier.
Falan.
Very good. So we know that, yes, very good. So whenever we have lan, fa will be added to that. Falan usaddiqaka. Perfect. Okay. And also you can see here that usaddiqaka. So here this is not majzoom. Why it's not majzoom? Because fa has been added to that. So when fa is added to that, then the mudari will not become majzoom. قال المراقب للمدرس, the controller said to the teacher, من جاء متأخرا, whoever comes late, لا تسمح له بالدخول, don't allow him to get in. Yes. لا تسمح.
طلب أستاذ. So we should
طلب.
add فلا.
فلا. Excellent. Okay, so whoever comes late, so do not allow him to get in. So this is جواب الشرط فعل طلبي, yani this is nahi. Basically he is asking him, don't allow them, prohibition. In أنجح بتقدير ممتاز, if I succeed with high marks, أحصل على جائزة, will I get a prize? Yes. We have istifham, right?
أحصل.
Yeah, we have istifham, okay.
استفهام.
So
We can't put the
before ahsulu we have to add fa, so it will be afa ahsulu, because we know that is basically, this is hamza which is used for istifham. So hamzatul istifham, please remember, it always comes before fa. It always comes before fa. Okay, now look at the one more point over here, that hamzatul istifham, yani it always comes before fa. It always comes before fa. Whereas we have another word which we use for istifham, that is hal. Hal always comes after fa. It always comes after fa. So it's a very small point, minute point, but we need to remember that whenever we have hamzatul istifham, we have to use fa after that. We have to use fa after that. But whenever we have hal, then we have to use fa before that. So the same sentence, if you want to change it into hal, then how will we say? In أنجح بتقدير ممتاز فهل أحصل على جائزة. So it will be فهل أحصل على جائزة. So we can use both. We can use and we can also use hal. But when we use then we will say أفأحصل. And when we will use hal, then we will say فهل أحصل على جائزة. إن تكن مستعجلا لست مستعجلا. If you are in a hurry, I am not in a hurry.
فلست جامد
فلست, excellent. Because lestu is jamid. Perfect. So that's why it will be falastu. Very good. So this one, as we can see here, this is istifham, and here this is a fail jamid. Okay. In tarahu sahihan, if you see him right, or if you think he is right. Ma arahu sahihan, I don't see him to be right. Ma nafiya. Yes. So fama arahu sahihan. You know that ra'a yara means to see with the eyes, and it also means to think. Do you think, if you think that he is right, I don't think him to be right. Okay. Here it was tarahu, there was alif maqsura, and that alif maqsura has been dropped. But here arahu, that alif maqsura, you know that when we have pronoun after that, then this alif maqsura changes into alif. Why alif has not been dropped over here? Why it is not majzoom over here?
because fa is there. Is
Excellent, because of fa. Very good. So because of fa, the present tense will not become majzoom. So that's why it is not majzoom. If you see him to be right, I don't see him to be right. And then we have another beautiful expression. Ma ansa la ansa dhakal manzar. Yes. You know, this ma is basically ma ashart. And you know, ma ashart is translated as whatever or whatsoever. So whatsoever I forget, ma ansa, whatever or whatsoever I forget, la ansa, I will not forget, dhakal manzara, that sight. So whatever I forget, I will not forget that sight. Yes.
fala answer.
Excellent.
Because and
An-nafiya, yeah, an-nafiya for negation. So the translation is whatever or whatsoever I forget, I will not forget that scene or that manzar or that scenario. So that could be an accident, that could be anything amazing, that could be anything surprising. So you saw something that was amazing. So you say, whatever I forget or whatsoever I forget in my life, I will not forget that sight. Okay, so this is also jawab shart is basically muqtarinun bima nafiya. And the next one, the answer is already there. In yas'aluka ahadun anni faqul lahu ana inda al-mudiri. Why faqul lahu? Because it is talab, this is amr. Okay, so tell him that I am with the manager. So whoever, or if someone asks about me, tell him that I am with the manager. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.